man Jordan here, and a few topics that some people were hitting us that they wanted us to speak on. One was broken homes. So first we're going to dive into that, and shout out to my man, and put your name out, but with the good topic as far as broken homes. So I'll let you address it first, and I'll jump in and add something to it.
Definitely. Well, I mean, when you think about when it comes to broken homes, we see that nowadays. There was a book I was reading by John C. Maxwell, and it was talking about that. And I forget the exact statistics, but there's to the extent of there's a large majority of everyone, of children of all cultures, that go to bed each night without a father or even a father figure, and it tears the community down, and it tears a lot of society down, because you don't have, for your daughters, you don't have a male showing them how a woman should be treated, and protecting that household as well. You know what I mean? Like, and on the other hand, the boys aren't taught how to be men. They're left to wing it in society. Like, you know what I mean? Like, try to make their own.
Left to wing it, or have a woman try to instill masculine, male qualities and morals in you.
And it's just, it's hard. I mean, it's it. And it's like, yes, you have the exception to the rule, but I mean, overall, I mean, we see what it happens.
So, in your opinion, because I know for me growing up, it was off and on. It was, Dad was around for so many years, and it was just primarily me, my sisters, and my mom. So I know, like, I can relate to it. So how would you feel like playing sports and then having coaches, uncles, as far as mentors, like how they would play a role?
I mean, that to me, they play because you have to remember, you're shaping men. You're working with young men, and you're shaping them. And a lot of times, you're the only positive male interaction that they might even have. Exactly. When you look at somebody like LeBron James and his coach and other athletes, how crucial a role that their coach, Allen Iverson, like, I mean, how crucial a role that these coaches played in their life. And you see, I mean, there is the exception. Yeah. But I mean, it's hard. But it's if you're in that role, that position, you're in a position to lead young men, whether it's high school, whether it's middle school, and definitely college. Yeah. I mean, you're molding how these men. You're influencing a lot of how these men are going to turn out.
Because I know for me in my situation, one thing that helped me a lot was the coaches, uncles, first of all, having men in my family that I could go to.
Exactly. Yeah. You need that.
That weren't going to, pat me on the back and say everything's okay and tell me what I didn't want to hear.
Yeah.
Or just what I want to hear at certain times.
So you'll go on.
Yeah, so I'd be like, all right, go ahead, go play. But yeah, having coaches, I mean, I know coaches from high school that are still in my life now. I remember deacons at the church grabbed me. That was amazing.
They were
That was probably... was his Deacon Ocho?
Deacon Ocho, yeah.
That was probably one of the better dudes when I was 17, 18 that came along and sat me down and broke down, like, certain walls and stereotypes that I had about men not showing emotion, men just being angry all the time and not knowing how to release and talk and
figure stuff out.
Yeah, and the other aspect of the broken homes was that I wanted to touch on and ask you about too, was like your opinion on the communication, how it has to be between the mom and the dad. Because most people always say, well, it'll be okay as long as you let them get the kid on the weekends. There's no communication between mom and dad, even though they're not together. And I disagree.
I disagree too, yeah. I definitely disagree. The children need a father. And they need a father on a daily, as much as you can possibly be a father. Because we see, this world is crazy.
Right now, it's scary.
This world is insane. And that's why we see so much just BS on World Star and stuff. Because when you watch that kind of stuff, you see that there is a huge lack of leadership and somebody teaching them to come along and teaching them how to think,
Yeah.
how things will affect you, and what you do, there's repercussions. You know what I mean? Like, there's repercussions
For every...
Yeah.
They think... A lot of the kids today... I was just talking to a guy at work the other day. Actually, it was at Ambridge High School, and I met with the principal and the assistant principal about a mentoring position in the high school. And he goes, what do you think the major disconnect is? And I said, for the young males, because I can't really speak on the female side of it, I said the disconnect is, with the males you have, their entitlement level is here and the respect level is down here. And to me, the respect level comes from being that grown men showing you when you were younger, this is how things are done. This is what happens when you don't do them.
True.
Because nowadays we don't even have, you do something wrong, you still get to play in the game. There's there's nothing being taken away.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely
Like,
true. That's very true. Yeah, that is very true. I mean, I don't. It's one of those things where, like you said, I mean, you have to have that. You just have to. And if you're in a position, that comes with the territory. If you're in a coaching position or a position where you're leading young men, it comes with the territory. And I mean, and if you're not, then that's not a role you probably want to be, because, like you said, but to get back to what you were saying too, like, if you get in trouble on the field or something,
it's like life.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are you going to do? Life's not going to go, okay, Matt.
It's a penalty. You
Yeah.
15 yards and that's
Play it over.
Yeah.
No,
it doesn't work that way. There's actions and there's repercussions. There's repercussions to all your actions.
And
I
you
mean,
see
that's
it.
way, yeah.
You see it. Your daughter's age. She's still, early
and
developing.
It's funny you said on this topic too, because another thing that comes along with having a man, discipline.
Mm-hmm.
You see so many guys nowadays who are in the system or who are just living crazy or can't get anywhere in life, and you're like, because they have no discipline whatsoever. They cannot focus. They can't hold a job. They whatever it is, because they've been babied, and that's why a lot of times a mother's natural reaction is to baby.
Is to hold,
yeah,
and to not want to let go,
yeah. And then when you don't have that around, you see a lot of these guys who were raised by their women, their mother just babying them, and the world owes them. The world don't owe you. It does owe you, but you ain't gonna get it.
You won't get it, and
you ain't gonna
it'll
get
chew you up, whatever, spit you out, like the old heads used to say.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing to stay on this subject, I see a lot of guys and girls, they were saying communication, you don't need it. Just let him pick up his kid, on Friday, bring him back Sunday. To me, you have to have better, like you said, in any situation. In our situation, doing the show, the number one thing is communication. So, as a man and a woman, you have to have some dialect, some communication. Because, I mean, even if you don't argue, what's the chance if you don't talk?
Yeah.
You don't talk at all.
Thank you.
I drop you off on the corner. Daddy picks you up. He drops you back off on the corner. I pick you up, and there's no dialect.
Thank you.
Between mom and dad. That right there is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So when you speak broken homes, there's so many different, aspects of it. And I know society always says, oh, it's the guy. He probably doesn't want to be with her. He doesn't want to pay child. It's way deeper than child support, because a lot of women pimp the system. A lot of guys want to skip the system.
Yeah.
So there's on both sides. A lot of women use the system for revenge.
Oh yeah, revenge or come up.
Yeah.
Or come up. You see, how many people do we see? I mean, I have a friend going through it now, and it's just not right with some of these judges.
In every way.
Yeah, in every way, and it's like you're forcing him. And don't get me wrong, you need to pay for your children, but we need to come to an agreement and understand that we both can live. I can't live on, $500 a month.
I can't be homeless.
Yeah.
To take care of my child.
Thank you. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't, and I've seen it on so many levels where the guys are like, it almost, the good men.
Yeah.
It makes the good men.
It works against them. Mm-hmm.
It pushes them to the brink of like, man, is it really worth me being around? They're put in a corner. almost, and they're saying like, I can't even take care of my child, so I'm just going to skip out on everything. And to wrap it up, as far as the broken homes go, the number one thing we both agree on is communication in any relationship, whether you're homies, your boyfriend, girlfriend, father, son, mother, daughter, whatever. Communication's, the key to establishing any type of relationship.
Absolutely.
Because it goes back and forth. Now, the next thing that we were going to touch on was, and we touched on it, I believe, last year or before in the previous season. The show we touched on it, and it's still prevalent especially in our culture. And we don't like to keep everything in our culture, like in the black culture, because it's more
it affects everybody.
Everybody, but unfortunately, in our culture, it affects us a little more, than maybe in a white culture or Asian or something like that. But it's when you praise athletics over education.
Yeah. And
we see it, like we said before, I can name, and no disrespect to anybody who's, been in jail or been locked down or anything like that, but I've seen more people in our community and families at times get more respect and more props, more credibility as a man because they went to jail versus my man who's posting pics with tassels and the scholarship in his hand. And to me, that's so wrong.
It's like you can see like how society and the system, systematic oppression has changed, especially our values, especially in poor, because that was seen in the 60s and 70s and however as a way out. This is 2016. Yeah. That was fool's gold, because literally less than 1% actually makes it to the NFL and actually stays long enough to make a good amount where they can live off of.
To retire and take care of their family forever. Yeah,
it doesn't work that way. And it's like, so you have all these tons and tons of kids over and over who are graduating, who have relied on, been taught to put everything into football and nothing else, and they're not prepared for life. They haven't given them the tools to prepare and actually lead a successful life. All they've prepared them for is football. And it's like, football is not going to keep you warm at night.
No.
It's not going to keep the lights on. It's not going to, because less than literally all those kids, I mean, you figure.
There's how many men on the college roster? When you went to college, about 50?
Yeah. 52,
53, something like that.
You only have so many scholarships.
How many of your friends went to the NFL?
Thank you.
Like, it's almost like you already know you're not. You're not going.
And you're going to have to be, if you're going, it's clear that you're a cut above the rest. You've competed at the highest level. And even then, you might get in the NFL and not succeed.
And that's the one thing that, to me, in our community, in the black community, I see it a lot, and it's frustrating. I see young men.
That's what we're hoping to change.
Yeah, I'll see young men out here, and especially in Western PA, where football is life.
It's life.
And you have powerhouse schools like Aliquippa, Clairton played last night. You have powerhouse schools and powerhouse communities, Central Valley, Beaver Falls. You can go on and on, Jeanette. They're fixated on, well, these 2 guys made it, or these 3 guys made it. Like, for example,
out of 50 years, 60 years, literally.
We had one make it in the 80s, one in the 90s, one in the 2000s. So,
what about all those 10 years, those other 9
what
years?
What about those 200 kids in those graduating classes that never made it?
Yeah.
And that's where we start to lose our youth. Whenever I go to Pee Wee football games or Pee Wee basketball games, and we forget. You're a student first.
Thank you.
An athlete, a distant second.
Yeah.
Believe me. Like I tell my son, if you wake up every day at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning and go work out for hoops, trust and believe somebody been up since 5.
There's
always and not to sell them short, but they're a dime a dozen.
Literally, you're a dime a dozen. If one goes down, there's another cut. And every year that you're there, bringing somebody in to replace you,
Like
a younger you,
there's
less
a newer
beat up you.
model.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And it's like, and also too, it's one of those things where you kind of wish to stop letting our kids get all beat up with these sports.
Thank
Like you're
you.
putting everything into football. These kids you're beating them up, and it's like, well, wait a minute. There's
Yeah.
other.
There's
you,
other
you should
things.
be you should be just as fanatical about them getting an A, getting getting a academic scholarship, or
Thank
them
you.
pushing to try to achieve something and go to the next level of some type of education of some sort, as you would be as them scoring a touchdown, because
Yeah.
that's one thing that people have to understand. It's a game. Of course,
It
it's
is.
fun.
It's fun. It's always going to be
It's fun. Else
You're
we wouldn't do it.
And that's yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't do it in high school if it wasn't fun.
It's a kid's game.
Yeah.
And the one thing I wish they would push more. And I know when we were coming up, most of our activities were church related.
Yeah. Yeah. So you sat down and you learned and you talked and you were around men.
And you still got to do and you were still hooping. You were still doing the physical activity, but it came with substance. It came with a message. And I remember when I was in 10th grade, I played in a undergraduate basketball league on the north side of Pittsburgh on East Ohio Street. It was in a Baptist church, Alliance Baptist Church on East Ohio. But before every game, there was like at least 50, 60 kids. We had a church service before every single game. They went around. You sat down on the court. All the brothers sat down. You talked about, just like this, you talked about, things that were going on in society. And pastor came on, gave us, good word. And then after that, you hooped. And I noticed after that, the competition was still fierce.
Oh, yeah.
But there was a certain respect and maturity
that you learned.
You learned
from it, yeah.
Before you got into playing.
Yeah, you learned how to show discipline and sit down and behave yourself and listen and learn before you got to go out and play. It was that because that's what it is. It's play.
It's playtime. Yeah, it's like recess.
Exactly.
It's playtime
for
playtime
young
usually
men, men. Yeah.
And like you said, a lot of parents are wearing their kids out.
Oh, or they're living vicariously through their kids. Like,
ooh, yeah.
There's so many times where you see so many parents trying to live through their kids, and it's like not only is it sad, you're ruining the kid's experience.
Yeah, you're killing them.
He don't want to do it. I saw one guy. He looked like he had They did look like he had not one athletic bone in his body, and he was at the gym and he's pushing his kid and another dude pushing this poor kid, and the kid's just like, I'm a kid. I mean, he couldn't have been more than 11.
And then that's when you get these kids that, even if they excel in the sport, because you're pushing them hard enough that if they have the ability, they may take off, but when they have their meltdown, it's over.
It's over. Yeah.
They're
going to hate you for it. They're going to hate you
Once they have their Ryan Leaf moment on the court or off the court, it's over.
Yep. And they don't know how to deal with life because they've just been taught this is what it's all about. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's like you said. I mean, we definitely got to change that. That's one of the things we really want to push for because it's just not. It's not right.
Like we're praising
the wrong thing.
The message is in the wrong thing. Like
it's 2016.
You have to look at it like you can name more. I can name 10, 20 dudes now that I'm like, man, he was so nice. He should have went to the NBA.
Yep.
He should have went to the NFL.
Yep.
Dudes you went to college with.
Thank you. It's like you can count on. I can't even count them on one hand.
Yeah, it's like, come on,
two hands.
Like the message we're putting out there is, if you're good enough at playing, you can cheat a little bit at the real life stuff that you need to actually hone in on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and my dad used to always say that boys like to play. That's why boys need the men and they need discipline, because boys like to naturally play, and girls like to naturally. A lot of times they're mature, so they like to learn. Read books, use their imagination. You know what I mean? Be creative. And it's like, we like to play, and that's why you need a man there to sit and come down and be like, no,
like
playtime is over. You're not playing until this, and this is done.
Exactly. That's
it. End of argument. I don't want to hear it. Like, so, I mean, but anyway, we keep it pushing so we get everybody's topics in.
Another one was what roles do parents play when their teenage children commit crimes.
Well, this should be
or break the law, committed
This
crime.
should be a good one because there's a lot of people. I'm sure we got a lot of listeners. I'm sure who are parents.
A lot of parents with children out here. Both of us, our kids aren't teen. My son's on the cusp, but I think in a lot of these aspects, a lot of the parents have a lot of responsibility. Because my thing is, and I told my son this morning, when you step out of the house, when you step out of the house, you're representing your mom, your dad. It's like when you wear a jersey, you're playing green. Giles, that's the name on the front of your jersey, and you're representing that name on the front of your jersey. So if we're instilling these things, and you don't have, and people get it confused, you don't have to come from a castle in a mansion. No. The walls that confine you, just be blessed that you have a roof over your head.
Thank you.
And if you're getting the morals and the values and the discipline, when you step out, like I told my son and daughter today,
that's the brand.
That is it.
Yeah.
That's what you stand by.
That's the brand. My parents used to always say, remember, just like you said, don't you do anything to embarrass yourself, or don't you do anything to embarrass his family. Always stuck with me, just drilled in my head. It's drilled in my head. Do not ever embarrass yourself. Do not ever embarrass this family. And that's what people don't.
People don't understand that, and they take it serious to the grave. I don't, just like you, I don't, and we all know, we have all had friends who were on the wrong side. Like, people, I know people who, and we're cool. When you go back home, you see them and you still say what's up, but at the same time, when you were coming up, when you were hanging out, your team was doing this.
Yeah.
And if they weren't on the same line or same path as you, I wasn't hanging with them. You weren't hanging with them. And, like, I sit back and I'm like, I'm proud I never went to jail.
Yeah.
Never had a criminal record, never broke the law and stuff. And to me, it's important that my mom, I'm not shaming her, my grandmother, my grandmas, my grandpaps, those people who paved the way.
Yeah.
For me, for me to be where I am today.
Yeah, man. It's important because, like you said, I mean, you're embarrassing them because it makes them look like they were failure as parents or as leaders. You know what I mean? Like that they led you, and it's like you don't want to do that because a lot of times it couldn't be further from the truth. But all it takes is one time. You know what I mean? That's it. And it's like, it's something that I think a lot of people, that it goes really unaddressed because you see these world star videos and stuff on the internet and you're like, that's out there not only for millions of people to see, but it's out there forever.
Forever. It's not going nowhere.
Yes, it's out there forever. They own it. It's never going to go anywhere. And it's like, that is constantly going to, like, this is not Kim Kardashian type. This is not Kardashian type. It doesn't work that way.
No, it's not. It's not.
You don't get caught doing something embarrassing, and now you get paid millions of dollars.
You get a check in the mail.
Yeah.
No, it's
the opposite.
It's a stain on your life, your reputation.
You never know, your employer might see that. Exactly. Or
it's going to cost you
potential.
And so when people say, do parents have a role in it? Yeah, my job is to prepare my son and my daughter honestly for what's going to go on when they step outside the house. So I feel like, when I see kids committing crimes, do their parents play a part in it? Yeah, because too many times I see parents push the kid out the house when the kid ain't ready. And I'm talking about, I see 8, 9, 10-year-old kids walking around town, and I'm like, maybe I'm just too strict. Maybe I have the reins on too tight. But you're giving total freedom to a child.
Yeah.
To a child.
Literally.
And so I do, when I see crimes on TV and people are like, where are the parents? And I say, y'all see people say, what do the parents have to do? I'm like, everything.
Yeah, literally.
Like, my mom had everything to do with it. So when I stepped outside and I see my boys, selling drugs, or they wanted to steal this, or they wanted to do that, I took my butt home.
Thank you.
Home. Like, and that was it. Like, just like you said, the brand was protecting the brand, because that's all you really are.
Thank you. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's what you have. You have your reputation. You have your family's pride. Like, you hear so many other cultures say you shame your family. That's something that America really needs to adapt because they don't look at it that way over here. It's like, but that's what it is. Anybody who are Christians who read the Bible, they talk about that, shaming your family. You know what I mean? Bringing shame to your family, and that's like something that we clearly have forgotten in this society.
Yeah, we're too profit off of
what if it
ignorance.
makes money? Yep, exactly. Sex sales,
profit off of
violence
ignorance.
sales, yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
Well, my daughter might be doing porn, but at least she's getting paid.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, my son might be out here in a rap video glorifying. He's never shot a gun in his whole life.
Thank you.
He's acting like he's glorifying death and all this, but at least he's getting paid for it.
Exactly,
so that's where we're at in our, in our society right now, as far as, what is acceptable and what's not. People kind of say, well, can you get paid for it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay then.
Thank you.
And that's why I always say this when people talk about Trump, because he's here Monday at Ambridge High School. When people say, the Antichrist is in the building.
Exactly.
On Monday.
Yes. Exactly.
When I hear people say, "Would you, he's this, he's that," and I say, it's even scarier when he can go on Monday say, "I don't like blacks, I don't like Mexicans, your neighborhoods are bad, let's build a fence to keep these people out." And he can stand in a room full of black people and they can still cheer for him.
Cheer for him.
Cheer for this dude. So that tells me, I'm like, if he would go in front of people and be like, "Well, I'll give you a job.
Thank you.
If you vote for me.
Yeah, thank you.
I can buy you."
We see that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Oh, we see it all the time. People just all the time will sell out for anything. I mean, it's like it's literally their pieces of silver.
Yeah, it's like they're
Judas. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's whatever it is, whatever their number is, to sell out. Like,
and that ties back into what you said, like the way you're brought up, like the role your parents play. You can't sacrifice a little bit of your soul and still keep your integrity, and hold your head at the end of the day. Because you still got to look in the mirror. Born alone, die alone. You still got to look at yourself and be like,
what does a man gain? You know what I mean? If he gains the world and loses his soul, it's one of those things where it's like, and you see a lot of these reality people, reality stars, they're gonna pay for that. Trust me, because when that bubble bursts, it's over. It's over. It's like, we've seen everything that you've put out.
And so to answer that, the role parents play, they play a major role in every aspect of my kid's life. So if my son and daughter, she's a star cheerleader, my son's a star basketball player, that's all fine. But if he's also the biggest criminal in town and she's a little slut in town, that's my fault too. I play a role in that. I can't just be like, well,
no, it doesn't work.
You can't win all the battles in the kids' life. No. So, but the part we play is major.
I hope that they take that to heart, But anyway, so what's our last topic here?
The last one, I had somebody hit me, and it was more like, settled out. They were just like speaking on, it was like a sports. Okay. Last night, you had the big game, it was Aliquip, Clareton, and somebody actually...
Whoa. Yeah. We have to pause for a second. No disrespect to my Aliquip peeps, because Clareton beat Jeanette too. Jeanette at one point had him in their grasp and they let him out and they got out. And shout out to Clareton, because you guys are
they're amazing. Phenomenal.
They're amazing.
Phenomenal.
But whew, man, Quip, I thought y'all was gonna give him I thought it was gonna be a game.
And then I'm hearing and that's what I'm saying, because I'm from Quaker Valley. We're not a powerhouse of football. Good at hoops, not football. But when I'm hearing people from Aliquippa with excuses like, well, this year's team was bad, was coached bad. I'm like, it's been the same coach for 30 years.
Right.
Seriously, he's not going nowhere.
No, he's not going anywhere. And you don't say that whenever he's winning.
No.
Whenever he's
when y'all blew out Newcastle and Beaver Falls this year, the team wasn't young. Newcastle and Beaver Falls got D1 players on their team. Thank you. The boy last night I had to Google the young boy from Clareton.
That boy's bad. Another Tyler Boyd. Yeah, he's nice.
And the crazy thing is they want him for defense. And he had like almost 300.
Yeah.
He only had like 12 carries.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So a
He
man
blew
was
that
like,
open. Yeah.
speak on the sports, and I'm like, it's not, it's quick. I mean,
yeah, it's.
I picked getting off the bus on Thursday, talking to
our
people
homeboy from the bus. Yeah.
To my,
we told him. I called it. I'm not trying to sound. I'm just saying. No, I have to call it how I see it.
And I only said
it.
I only said Clairton by 6.
Yeah, I said by 10.
And when I turned it off, it was like
60 to
60 to 16 maybe.
Whew.
And I seen the boy's dad on Twitter, the young boy from Clairton who had a phenomenal game. His dad was like, "You're lucky it rained last night, or it would have been worse." I said,
Yikes.
"Wow,
Savage."
That's cut. Yeah, that's
savage.
Said if you're lucky it rained, because the game would have been worse. And I said, I just in my lifetime I never seen maybe prior squad run on them like
I they beat them 70 or something. Yeah, I've never seen Al Quippa lose like that.
I never seen that last night either. Like I said, I'm not taking shots because my
Quakers
we got blown out last night in Beaver Falls.
Yeah, we lost to Clairton too. We lost to Clairton a couple years. Yeah, shout out to Jeanette for over. Jeanette has outscored their opponents combined for over like almost 300 points to none. They beat somebody 42-0 last night. That was at halftime.
Wait, so nobody scored on them this year?
No.
They're like Perry and
they have a really good squad. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I might have scored a few, but it's very, very marginal. Like, I mean, a very small amount, yeah.
So, yeah, that's one, and, your schedule, one dude even said it on the Wpial Insider. He said, you play who you play, in your conference. You can't change that.
Yeah.
This is not like Bishop Gorman. We're in Vegas where you can go around and schedule the best team. You're going to play who you play.
Yeah, it is what it is, yeah.
And if they catch you on that night when you're slipping, you'll get smacked. 60 to whatever the final score. I couldn't believe it.
I couldn't believe it. And the thing was, I saw that and Quip asked for that game. I'll be honest, I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming. Not like that.
Now, if you're a true program like Quip is, like Clairton is, you bring it back to Alan Quippa next year.
Oh yeah.
And you play and you do the same.
Run it back, yeah.
You run it back next year.
Yeah.
So
that was man. I'm interested to see how did Ambridge do.
So Ambridge had Blackhawk last night.
Oh man.
At Blackhawk.
Oh man.
42-0 last night.
That was better than I thought.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I thought you were gonna be like 72-0.
It was 42-0, and shout out to my cousin Kenny. He's an assistant coach for Amherst High School. We were talking last night, and he even broke it down. He was like, "Matt, we'll play hard for the first, and it's football. Like people, no disrespect, but a lot of these moms and dads, you don't get it.
They don't
It's not hoops." Mm-hmm. It's football. Yeah. It's contact. You need bodies. And the first thing he said to me was, "We played so hard for the first 8 to 10 minutes, and we're done.
Yeah.
We don't have no bodies. You can't play a high school football game at a competitive level with under 25 kids on the football team.
At a AAA quad A school, yeah. Where they have fresh lines coming in over and over.
Blackhawks running dudes in.
Yeah.
They're running sophomores and ninth graders in.
Thank you.
And our starters, our people coming off the bench are freshmen who didn't think they were going to play. Yeah. Because last year you had some good players that earned their stripes. Now they're like, oh, it's my turn?
Yeah. That's sad. It really is sad.
So they lost 42-0.
I just hope next year that I just hope that they get the politics out, because that's one thing with Jeanette. If you stink or if you're good, then that's how you'll be treated. It don't matter whose kid you are. Jeanette don't like to lose.
You see it too much here.
Oh yeah.
Here the politics even pick the coaches, and it's sad. Like I said, I was talking to my cousin Kenny last night, and he's like, we need bodies. We don't have able bodies, and unfortunately, don't be surprised if more kids leave now, because you're not. the product you're putting out.
No.
And they're leaving at younger ages. My son's friends are leaving. They're 11.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's getting to the point where they're like, do we want to have a program?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to last.
But just to wrap it up, I know coming up here in the next couple shows, we got some good people coming on. Got my man Marlon Gist. They have Gist Catering in Ambridge on, I believe it's on 13th Street. They have Gist Catering. Actually, Nick Nice is throwing a party there next week. It's 30 and over.
Nice.
It's catered, $10. It's catered. Eat all you want. Food's off the hook. My Nick Nice will be there, the old throwback DJ from Whammo. It's from 9 p.m. till whenever. It's usually, they got tight security. So he has an art gallery in Aliquippa. We're going to swing by, do a show from over there. Okay. My man Goo, up and coming, artist, hip hop artist in Ambridge. He wants to come through, check him out, talk about the music industry in Pittsburgh, the rap game in Pittsburgh, because everybody thinks it's Wiz Khalifa. He owns Pittsburgh. Yeah. Him and then Mac Miller and Chevy Woods, that's it. So he wants to come through, check us out, talk about that. And my man Amir Dudley, good dude right now. He coaches football for Central Valley at the Pee Wee midget level. He also is the COO of ACE, AACE. You can Google that. They have AAU basketball up and coming. I think this is their second or third year. They're out of Beaver County. And he also is a recruiter, nationwide recruiter for 5-star football, the skills camp. So he does a lot with the young kids. He's a fan of the show. He wants to come through, speak on.
Yeah, we definitely. That's gonna be nice. That's gonna be good.
Speak on some good topics, and just keep things moving. So
yeah, it's a call. I have to bring it up. I remember I had another buddy of mine talk to me about this, and we'll just end it with this one, just because I have to because somebody else had reached out to us, online dating. And that's the thing. Like, now I get it. I've heard, and I did hear from some people too that I heard from a dude that they found some gems on there.
Wow.
But at the same time, it's both. So I think it's one of those things where maybe you have to do your due diligence. Like, it's going to take some time, but you can, and I'm sure they're correct. Cause, you see people nowadays. I mean, they're popping up. And new ones popping up. Match.com.
You see the commercials.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So it's like it's out there. I you know what? I don't know, man. I'd have to be really into it. I don't know. I was never. By the time it was really popping, I was
out of the game.
Down.
By the time it was taking off and up and flying, I was wifed up, and it never really appealed to me. Even when I hear people talk about it, like some of my boys, and I'm like, okay, if I was single right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm just cut different.
I don't know. Yeah, it'd be like a new. It would be like an old school producer asking him to go, move, all of a sudden just jump 20 years and produce.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. I'd have to. I'd have to really, but. Like I said, I've heard some people have success. I've heard some people say
I know some people who rely on it.
Yeah.
And the reason why I was talking about it, I think with a coworker, and I was like, I think the reason why people in their, 24 to 28s are like, man, there's nothing to do. The clubs are dead. That's because on Fridays everybody's dressing up to get behind the camera and create their profile for these dating groups.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're not going out because when we were younger. Friday, you were going out, you were getting dressed, you were going out to meet somebody. Mm-hmm. Now you're getting dressed up to stay home to meet somebody. And I mean, that's why you've seen the, saturation in the clubs and the, the nightlife go down. Mm-hmm. You see more couples if you go out now. Yeah. Dudes go out with their girls now. Before they went out to, try to talk to a young lady or whatever. So I'm glad I never came up in that, it was never my go-to option.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Because it's kind of scary. It's
Yeah.
like rolling the dice.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a situation where I don't know if I. Yeah.
It's-
And that's. Yeah, because you never. Because the negative side of it is you can be anybody.
you can lie.
Yeah, you can be anybody. You know, but it's like on the other hand, yeah. I mean, I get it because it's like people are so busy nowadays, especially career people.
Yeah.
They don't have time to meet people
Yeah.
and go out and do stuff. But at the same time, too, like you said, you have the negative aspect of it.
Yeah,
So.
the quality of.
Yeah, you had to be able to talk to people back in the day.
It's almost like. It's like buying. It's like, I don't know. Sometimes it's like you don't want to go to Aldi's for your groceries. You
Yeah.
want to go to Giant Eagle.
Yeah.
Even
exactly.
though Aldi's got the
Decent. Yeah.
decent select, sometimes you want to.
Yeah. Step
You
in
want
your
the
game
best
up a
of the
little bit.
best.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
So
But write in. Let us know if you've had any online experience, dating
write in,
experiences.
call in.
Yeah.
You know, Facebook. The numbers on Facebook. You check it out.
Yeah. Check it out. Like
Text
we're
your
definitely
comments.
interested.
Everything.
Yeah. So anyway, we're about to cut up out of here, but I hope y'all have been entertained. We definitely
Exactly.
appreciate every fan support and everything, and we'll be getting back to you.
Yeah. So let's just keep it moving, and we'll check you out next time. So just stay tuned. Enjoy the ride, and we'll holler at you. One
One
voice.
voice.